Friends, and welcome back to another episode of Rosten's Reviews. My name is Mr. Rosten, Cluster 6-1 Social Studies teacher here at BMS, and let me be the first to welcome you back to another episode. This week, we're going to discuss Week 23. Week 23 is in the books, 17 weeks left until summer vacation. Yeah, buddy. Everybody get excited. All right, so let's jump right into it, folks, and see what we did in social studies this week. This week in social studies, we did two things. First of all, we finished with our Meet the Pharaohs lesson. So in the first part of our lesson, we met three pharaohs. You met King Tut, you met King Khufu, and King Khafre of Egypt. And you watched a short video where they introduced themselves, they told you a little bit about themselves, and you kind of started to develop an idea of whether they were wise investors or wasteful spenders. Then, for the second part, we looked at an additional three pharaohs, right? But for this time, what we had to do was we had to read some text. So I gave you 6 documents in total, and you had to read through them, and you highlighted evidence that supported wise investments in green, because remember, green, good. And then for wasteful spending, you highlighted it in red. Red, bad. Green, good. Red, bad. Once you were done finding the evidence that you had at the bottom of the slide, you filled in 2 pieces of evidence, one for wise investing, one for wasteful spending, and you moved on to the next slide. So let's just review who we met during our second portion of our Meet the Pharaohs. All right, so first we met Pharaoh Thutmose III. We saw that he did both wise investments and wasteful spending. We met Hatshepsut, who was, we decided, a wise investor because she traded with different lands and different civilizations and brought in natural resources that Egypt didn't have access to. We met, again, Pharaoh Tutankhamun, and you learned about how he had 5,000 objects made for his tomb, and we agreed that was pretty crazy. Then you met Pharaoh Ramses II, considered one of the greatest rulers in ancient Egypt. He's lived for over 80 years, and he was king for 67 of those 80 years, so he ruled for a long time. He did a lot of good. He built a lot of things that were sustainable for the ancient Egyptians, which was awesome. And then last but not least, you met Khufu and Khafre. All right? So, you met Khufu and Khafre. You've highlighted your evidence in green, that was wise investments, and red for wasteful spending. Then we started our HIQ response. All right, now remember, our objective here is to write two paragraph written response answering the HIQ, were the Egyptian pharaohs wise investors or wasteful spenders. So for this assessment, you are going to need an introduction paragraph and a peel body paragraph. So let's take a look and refresh and remind ourselves how to write an introductory paragraph. So remember, there are 3 parts of an introductory paragraph. First, you have your attention grabber, right? This is your hook. This is how you get the reader interested in what you're reading. And you have your hook or your attention grabber should be 1 sentence, right? Then you have your background info, your background information. There should be 2 pieces of background information. Remember, where can you access a lot of good background information? That's right, the background essay that we gave you at the beginning of the unit. So you can take a look at that background essay and give yourself some good ideas about what you can write for your 2 pieces of background information. And then last, but certainly not least, and the most important sentence of your introductory paragraph is your claim statement. Why is the claim statement so important? Because this is where we separate the historians from everybody else. This is where you become your confident, authoritative, historical self. You choose a side of the argument and you support your choice with 3 strong reasons. And to do that, we use the TTQA plus 3 reasons format. So what does that mean? That means you turn the historical question around. So, for instance, ours is, the Egyptian pharaohs were, You choose a side of the argument. Wise investors because, and then you give 3 important reasons. All right? And remember, those 3 reasons go with your 3 body paragraphs, or what will be 3 body paragraphs. This time you only have to choose 1. So, good on you. Once we learned about how to write an introductory paragraph, we began writing ours in our HIQ, our HIQ Pharaohs graphic organizer. All right? So, here you notice we have an attention grabber, background information, and a claim statement. I've given you sentence starters, so that way you can just fill in the information, and then once you're done, you can bring it down here and copy it and paste it right into this box, okay? Last but not least, and on Monday and Tuesday, we're going to work on this. You're going to write your peel paragraph. We've provided you with plenty of help. But remember, I'm not telling you how to write. I'm just giving you the options in order for you to make that decision on your own. You are a young adult, and you are a historian in your own right, and you can make those choices. So, I've given you plenty of options here to help you. I've highlighted my favorite sentence starters, just because that's who I am as a writer, okay? And then on the bottom here, and as you can see, I started doing this because I'm preparing for Tuesday and Monday, you can fill in and write your peel paragraph, all right? So, that's what we did in social studies this week. We got prepared and ready to write our HIQ response. We met the rest of the Pharaohs. We learned about how they spent their money. And we started writing our HIQ response. Pretty good week, all things considered. I would say so. All right, so next week on the agenda is we are going to finish our HIQ response on Monday and Tuesday. Okay? You're going to have the entire class period to come up with your final draft, and then you are going to submit what you got, and then I'm going to grade it. Wednesday, we are starting Ancient China, Wednesday, we are going to start our final Egypt project. You are going to have another choice board. You're going to have a week to get that done, so that should be awesome. We're going to work on it in class. It's going to be good stuff. And then we're going to start Ancient China and India, which should be some good stuff because, you know, Mrs. Classy, Mrs. Donovan, and I always have some fun and interesting and engaging activities for you. So, that's what we did in social studies this week. That's what we're going to do with social studies next week. We'll have another video for you. Hopefully, we will be live next week. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got for you. All right, so remember, folks, this weekend, take some time to recharge the batteries. Do something, fun. Like, I don't know, go outside and play in the snow. It's been snowing for 3 days straight. You know what I mean? Go out there, do some sledding. Or make a snowman. Or, I don't know what else you do in the snow. Just make snow angels. I don't care. Just do whatever you got to do. All right, friends? All right, I hope you all have a great weekend. Recharge those batteries. Come back with 110% because Rosten is going to be bringing it in social studies next week. Peace be with you and with you, Rosten